What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys episode number 15 of my 2017 Shelf by Shelf series. And if we want to actually have this done by the end of 2017, I need to get on a ball recording these videos. I've just been extremely lazy doing podcasts and all kind of other fun things. But let's jump back into it. Where did we leave off? I believe we left off right here. So we have The Horde. This is a French film. It's not too bad, but I didn't love it. I thought it was a little weaker than a lot of people think. It is a IFC Midnight release. It's okay. After that, we have Horror, which is directed by Dante Tomaselli, who did Satan's Playground and another one that I can't quite remember. But yeah, I didn't love this one. It's okay. I believe it came out in 2002. We did cover it kind of for a 2002 show. Watched it for that. After that, we have A Horrible Way to Die. This is a Adam Wingard film, and I have not seen this one, but I am a fan of this guy, so I will get to that eventually. And after that, we have Horror Business. It's a documentary about some independent filmmakers. It's pretty good, actually. Really enjoyable. It's super low budget, but it's a lot of fun. After that, we have The Host, and this is a Japanese giant monster movie. Something has always intrigued me about this. I've seen some clips and stuff, and I actually really want to see this eventually, but I just have not got around to actually watching it yet. But it's one that is on my radar. After that, we have Hostel, and I absolutely love Hostel. It's one of my favorite films from this era. I think it came out in like 2006. I absolutely love it. Love Eli Roth. So far, I like all of his movies. Like the weakest one to me is probably The Green Inferno, but there are really likable things about that. In fact, it even made my top 10 of 2015, so I can't hate on it too much. But yeah, after that we have Hostel Part 2. This one is very interesting because I have not watched these two films, Hostel and Hostel 2, in years. And Hostel 2 I haven't watched potentially in over 10 years, which is insane. Probably around there, honestly. Probably pretty close to there. It's a pretty decent movie. Is this movie, what year did this come out? 2009-ish or something? 2007? I didn't like it when I first seen it. I was actually really disappointed, but it did grow on me a little bit. I'm actually really curious to revisit this. And then Hostel 3, I have not seen this one yet. It's one that is on the list. I do want to do the Hostel trilogy on the podcast eventually. I just haven't. I have seen parts of this. Like, I went to watch it, but I fell asleep, and I've never went back to it. But I like the first two, so. After that, we have House 1 and 2. This was a Anchor Bay release that was actually pretty hard to find for a while. Like, back when this was a movie that was not on Blu-ray, and it only had the original Anchor Bay releases. Like, House 2 was actually like really hard to get. You can only get it in like this set, I believe, at a certain point in time, because the others were out of print or never released or whatever. But yeah, I like House 1 and 2. Both are solid, and I have upgraded since. This House is Not a Home. I watched this recently for the 31 Days of Horror last year. It was okay, like nothing special, kind of weak. After that, we have House of the Devil. This one is okay. It's decent. People love this movie. I loved it the first time I watched it, and every time after that, I found it a little weak. But Ty West, definitely not his best film in my opinion, but definitely a very well-known modern horror film that people definitely get behind. After that, we have House of Wax, the remake with Paris Hilton. That's who's most known in so I actually like this film, honestly. Like, I don't hate it at all. It's a pretty solid little slasher. This case is beat up, by the way. I gotta switch this case out. I actually have some green ones up there, so maybe I'll switch it out after this video. After that, we have House on Haunted Hill and Return to House on Haunted Hill. I actually like both of these movies, but they definitely don't hold up. The remake of House on Haunted Hill, I absolutely loved when it came out. I found it absolutely terrifying. It definitely does not have that same effect on me now. It's more laughable than anything. But back then, I really thought it was pretty scary back when it came out, like 1998 or 99 or whatever. I remember watching it on VHS and thinking that it was quite scary. Like, I just did not want them to go in the basement. Like, I just didn't want them to go down there. But I like House on Haunted Hill. Return to House on Haunted Hill. I like it, but it doesn't hold up as much. After that, we have The House That October Built. This one's decent. It definitely has a really, really cool concept. I like it. It's just kind of ridiculous. We covered this on one of the podcasts, so definitely check it out. I think there was even like a short film that this movie was like based on or something like that. So, yeah, check it out. After that, we have, oh god, we have The Howling. And The Howling, this MGM release here is actually a pretty solid release. I've always liked it because of the embossed cover, and I always like, I guess this is supposed to be skin, but it never looked like skin to me. I mean, I guess technically it looks like skin, but it reminded me of like a pirate map or like a canvas or something, which I guess would be, like, wouldn't make sense at all, but, you know, it always kind of reminded me of that, so I've always never looked at this cover as skin, but I guess that's what it's supposed to be. And then, yeah, pretty solid release. Don't love The Howling, honestly. I really don't. After that, we have Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf. You know what pissed me off? I bought this used because it was like kind of out of print, and I think I paid like $11 for it, which is ridiculous. And then like a couple weeks later, they announced a Blu-ray from Scream Factory, which I own that as well. So for some reason, I own 2 copies of The Howling 2, and I do not like either copy. After that, we have The Howling 4, The Original Nightmare. I picked this up so long ago. Like, this was in my collection for literal years before I ever got around to seeing it. And I was always super intrigued by the Howling movies. Like, I always thought that they were going to be really cool. Like, I just thought that they were going to be badass, and they're not. This one here is okay, at best. Actually, why am I saying that? This is not the okay one. This is actually the very bad one. I was thinking this was part 5. Part 4? Part 4. No, part 6. I thought this one was part 6, which is okay. The Howling 4 is awful. It's very, very, very boring. Like, this cover looks way more action-packed than the movie. It's an awful, boring movie. After that, we have The Howling 3, 5, and 6, which is a weird lineup here, but these ones were put out by, I think Scream Factory owns the rights, because it's like Timeless Media Group, which I believe they own. But yeah, this one is, part 3 is terrible but fun, part 5 is awful, part 6 is okay at best, and then of course we have The Howling 7, which is absolutely atrocious, but I found it kind of entertaining, honestly. I got this one from the UK because it is a it doesn't have a region 1 release. It's a very do-it-yourself film. And then finally, for this part, guys, we have The Howling Reborn. Not too bad. I honestly kind of liked it. It has like Lindsay Shaw in it, who I kind of like, and then there's this other dude from like Degrassi or something like that who I've seen before, Landon whatever. Yeah, I would do the rest of these guys, but the camera is actually dying. So I'll see you guys in part number 16. Peace.